Hey, Zeta here. This is part 2 of my Shadow Complex review, and if you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you go back and watch it, because you might be more confused than burping and farting at the same time. I gotta work on my analogies. That was stupid. Anyways, part 1, go see it if you want to. If not, if you're good. Here's the intro. So we finally caught up with where they took Claire, which only took about 2 minutes, but, you know. And ooh, looks like we're into some sinister side boss territory.
I find my subjects are far more willing to talk if they're forced to watch me dissect them.
Let her go!
Welcome. You don't look like a killer to me.
Ah, there you go. So, hey, anyways, it appears that Claire is paralyzed from the drugs, so now we gotta go and look for something to get the both of us out of here.
Stash me behind those cabinets. I'll be fine.
Stash you behind That's crazy.
That's why it's perfect.
So, after stowing Claire like a side of salted ham behind some cabinets, she fills us in on this big plan these guys have, and, well, being us, we have to stop them. Because that's what any sane person would do, right?
This is ridiculous. Do we look like NSA?
What does NSA look like?
How would I know?
Exactly. Now kiss me and hurry back.
So, Jason runs back to the car and leaves Claire in favor of living another day.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
Okay. So, we search for something to carry Claire with and get us both out of here, and we're trying to figure out what these guys are up to along the way. And we're introduced to a turret section, which on a controller is but on a mouse and keyboard, yeah! The movement is 1-to-1 and it feels great. Finally, there's a turret segment in a game that doesn't make you feel like a sitting duck. You actually feel powerful. I mean, check out the destructions! Dumb gimmick part. I don't even care if they have it essentially facing a freaking wall. It's like, what are they guarding? It's just good. Yeah, a little for you, a little for you. Yeah, alright. Well, that was fun. So this is the part of the game where it stops talking off your end and kind of lets you explore and get stuff for a while. It's a smaller game, but this means you get more stuff now, and honestly, it feels great to just get stronger and better consistently throughout the game. Grenade pack here, health pack there, useless gold if you like competing with hackers on the leaderboard there, sure. And eventually you get a bigger machine gun, which is much better.
An M400, Dad's favorite. He'd be so proud.
And before anyone asks, though, why didn't he just grab a machine gun earlier in the game from a corpse?
Yeah, the assault rifles are already unloaded in Sub-Armory Gamma. They're just waiting to be encoded.
Well, apparently the guns are encoded, and that's why you don't just pick up any gun from anywhere. I mean, you gotta find one that isn't encoded. But then that doesn't explain the ones we picked up before. I mean, do they just leave unencoded guns laying around at computer terminals? Okay, that doesn't make any sense now that I think about it. Huh. Anyways, the carbine is much better and a welcome upgrade to get right after the little submachine gun. Then the game introduces pipes in which you can launch a grenade in there and cause fire to shoot out the other end via an explosion somewhere in the room. And it's a pretty cool concept on paper, but the thing is, see, I could either shoot a grenade, wait 2 seconds, and hope to not die while they shoot me, and they might be in front of the pipe and die. Or I can go ahead and shoot them directly, score a headshot, and wait no seconds, and also shoot grenades in case I miss, and kill them directly. Now, dominant strategy dictates the latter. Alrighty, and now we get to the armor. It's time to Iron Man this place.
I could carry 10 Claires out of here wearing that thing.
Unauthorized DNA contact.
Okay, apparently robots call stranger danger too. I also like how all this room does is move the suit from one room to another, instead of, activating some sort of microwave field or death beam or something to destroy the intruder or something. I don't know. I'm not a mastermind. At any rate, Jason tears off a chunk of the thing while the final boss watches and does nothing about it.
Attention all members, Armored Defense Squad. Spread out and find him before he does more damage.
I'm serious this time, guys. Intruder alert and stuff. Go kill him. Lucius is silly. Anyways, despite probably being broken in a normal situation, tearing off a piece of the armor actually gives you one of the best items in the game, called the Thrust Pack, aka a double jump. So Jason spawns a tight suit from wherever the heck that was, and suits up. See, now is where the game really starts to open up, because with your double jump, you can double jump, stick to a wall, jump off of it, double jump, and scale the wall that way. It's actually part of the game features. And this is also when the game really starts to hype you up to be kind of superhero-y. It's pretty cool. Until one of those guys shows up. Good old cheat damage ops. Okay, so there's these guys in black that grapple to the ceiling and shoot the crap out of you as soon as they see you. I mean, look at my health. So these guys have an obnoxious amount of HP, and they aren't so much a challenge so much as they're a pissing match. I mean, you shoot them, and they shoot you, and one of you dies. Fortunately, these guys are pretty uncommon, but they're dreadful when they pop up. Luckily, if you're fast enough, you can beat them down with a melee before they do anything cheap, as that's a one-hit kill. But they're usually around other people that'll shoot you off screen to finish you off if you survive. Now, there's another annoyance to add to the list. Speaking of. So we get to the barracks cafeteria where we eavesdrop on an extra helping of those delicious game exposition spouting henchmen.
Because this isn't about guns and muscle. It's about perception. What people see and think about us. We don't want to be seen as the bad guys. We want to be seen as the liberators.
So yeah, it turns out this is supposed to be some sort of government inside job. Why? Because comic book plot.
So what do you think? Is the Cubs here? It would take the entire country falling apart for the Cubs to win.
Well, the Cubs won last year, and wouldn't you know it, the nation is at each other's throats. So hey, uprising confirmed. That dates this review. So the game goes on, and honestly, the unique bits take a rest for a while as you just get to explore and get your oxygen mask, which is, that's pretty straightforward, and progress at your own pace, occasionally throwing you some plot here and there to remind you that there is one. Like this little pep talk from Claire, who tells you to defeat an entire army of soldiers on your own.
I'm getting out of here.
You can't.
Yeah, watch me.
Jason, if we can stop this whatever it is before it starts, we
And how the hell am I supposed to do that?
find a way.
All right. Fine. This is absolutely insane.
We really should have left her. Yes, that is insane. Go and get out of there while you still can and tell the rest of the government that isn't corrupted. I mean, if you die, nobody's going to figure out about the plot and chaos ensues. But I guess that wouldn't be very superhero-y, so that would be kind of boring. So onwards we go. You eventually get to what seems to be some sort of engine room for the factory, wherein lies the foam gun. And this is a fun little piece of equipment that lets you freeze enemies in place with one shot.
They like it.
These are particularly useful against those annoying riot shield enemies, as you can make them stick, jump over them, and shoot them. Or you can even foam something, or someone in this case, and quickly swap to your grenades, and the grenades become some sort of breaching charge, essentially trashing anything that was frozen. I even found for a moment where I used the foam to bridge my way out over some electrified water. I don't know if that was intentionally the solution to that, but I could do it. Anyways, a bit of dialogue tells you that the plot is back, so you have to go and check on Claire. Onwards to backtracking. And we're fighting the tarantula tank for the third time. And I will say, they did try to at least mix it up with fighting the same boss yet another time, but here's a pretty good example of targeting being weird. See, I'm trying to shoot the grenade underneath him when he's in the background at times, but it's like, I have to aim right in front of him and at this weird angle, kind of up and to the side to get Jason to aim like I want him to. I mean, I guess I could use the mouse and keyboard, but the point is, this was on Xbox Live Arcade before this, when mouse and keyboard wasn't a thing. And what's more confusing is this enemy was like a puzzle boss at the start of the game, but now you can grenade it anywhere you like and it takes damage normally instead of chip damage. Like a normal boss battle. Whenever you're designing a game, you should really have consistency with this kind of thing. I mean, at least make it like a different model. Then, the game's nice enough to give you all the grenades you need, so hey, whatever. Exploring, get the rest of the armor. Here we go.
V5 armor at 50% capacity. 5 key components not detected.
Computer, what 5 key elements are missing?
V5 armor at 50% capacity. 5 key components not detected.
I get that. What are the 5 key elements?
V5 armor at 50%.
Never mind.
Awesome! The AI is programmed to be a nag and nothing more. The future sure is awesome. Okay, snarking about the AI aside, this is the part of the game where the game really starts to soup you up, aka turning you into a badass. Okay, so the game will throw you a few more bosses along the way too. Check out this guy, for instance. I mean, he looks like a badass, right? You'll never guess what his weakness is. It's sustained gunfire. I'll speed the battle up. All I'm doing is shooting him and jumping over him, occasionally destroying those little energy things with my own shots and staying out of the slam range. That's a comedically weak boss. Alright, defeat that guy and you get the friction dampeners, which is the game's way of saying this is Metroid's speed booster. Except instead of letting you jump endlessly, you have the ability to run on walls and the ceiling, which is kind of more akin to Super Mario World than Metroid, really. You can even jump from ceiling to floor and vice versa. 20 minutes later of exploring, they throw another power armor guy at you. Yeah, real cute. Even Jason isn't amused by this guy.
Power down immediately and surrender and you won't be hurt!
Same to you.
Check out this time. I literally just shot at him without even moving to see if I could, and I could. I almost felt bad for that guy. So after defeating him, you get the AR-60. More power! Eventually, you get back to the room where Claire was, and what do you know? Stashing her like a friggin' preserved pork haunch was a bad idea after all.
Claire, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have left you alone.
I guess Jason should have gotten her to safety first when he could, then decided to handle this whole shindig, but, you know, what do I know? I'm not in a comic book. So onwards you go, and eventually get some missiles, just like Metroid. Now you might think, hey, why not give the missiles early on, like in Metroid? Well, that's because the missiles in this game are actually powerful. A full 3 seconds of gunfire is reduced to one sweet boom, and now we are talking. Seriously, the missiles are really fun to use. Oh, hey, look. 2 more of the same power armor guys from before. Yay! Okay, I'll just shoot them like the other 2. Jump over one end. Okay, I can't jump over them. Oh! Okay, so that slam attack is actually a one-hit kill. Okay, fair enough. So, geez. So the trick here is you have to shoot the energy balls they shoot at you, and also shoot them with missiles to knock them back. So that's actually a little challenging to do. Okay, so Jason finally takes Claire to the Jeep, and she promptly GTFOs. That's how the kill kids say getting out of there. So yeah, fly home. Anyways, this is officially the game's warning to tell you, okay, now is the time to go and collect what you want to collect, what you feel like collecting while you can. And trust me, you're going to want all those passcode key components because the helmet's worth it. You'll see, you'll see. Anyways, I sunk about another hour just kind of exploring and collecting stuff. Okay, so one of the components is guarded by this depressing looking slob, in which all you do is run into it with your inertia dampeners. I mean, look at this. I actually accidentally killed it in the most awkward way possible by activating the dampeners right when it landed on me from the opposite direction. Great, cool boss. So that gets you the hook shot, which lets you grapple all around like Bionic Commando or Spider-Man. Yeah, choose your nerd lore. And the next one you get is the thrust boots, aka a triple jump, which is guarded by... This one's a little tricky. You gotta freeze his legs, grapple under him, tear out the wires 3 times to bring down the shields, and then you can shoot the crap out of him. Boom. This one's kind of challenging because he can actually shoot out his own foam bombs, freeze you, and shoot the hell out of you, so you actually have to look out for him. So yeah, after fighting him, triple jump get. Next component is something called the inertial element, which is, well, to explain, it's like a high-tech railgun shotgun.
A railgun, you said?
So first you might think, wait, this sucks, I want my rapid fire back. But once you one-shot most enemies, well, it starts to pay off. Satisfactory. Okay, now here is the final cutscene before the big battle. Lucius decides now would be a good time to actually attack Jason directly. Who would have thunk? But not before expositioning to you on a bunch of giant screens, as most comic book villains do.
The vice president is dead? But why?
It was his turn. The others will have theirs. And now you will have yours.
So this is the part of the game where they realized, oh crap, we should have one of those run away from the explosion segments Metroid has. And they just kind of shoehorn one in there real quick, and it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, you can still explore around afterwards. It just cuts off that one little part of the map that doesn't mean anything. So it's no big deal. And I actually have no idea why they even bothered putting that in there. I guess because Metroid did it. And here I am teasing Softendo over here about their Escape the Castle segment or whatever. Anyways, the next objective takes place at the lake, so before you trigger that cutscene, make sure you get everything you want, because it'll be a little difficult to have to go around that boss battle trigger if you don't. Okay, once you get all those, there's one last item for you to get. Something I don't think Nintendo has ever considered putting in a Metroid game, and they totally freaking should.
Fusion helmet acquired. Full defensive capabilities now online.
You get a helmet that allows you to be invulnerable to all damage if you are standing still or walking forward slowly. In other words, the helmet turns you into a freaking Terminator. It's awesome. Ah, crap. Falling does not count as walking slowly or standing still. So, after all this, we're finally at the final boss battle, and I swear they got somebody who likes to make those slaughter maps on Doom to come in and do this part of the game, because they throw everything at you that you have ever fought in the game, all at once, times like 3 or 4. So yeah, the final battle involves you jumping all around trying to activate missiles, and while they're arming, you have to fight off everything you've ever fought in the game. The last battle will give you all the ammo you ever need, but really, once you have the helmet, this part's actually kind of simple. Because once the missiles are ready, you just use the turrets to paint where you want the missiles to go, which, spoilers, is their ship. And meanwhile, Lucius does nothing to stop you from inside the building. He just kind of reacts all like, no, don't launch the missile, no. Lucius is really silly. So yeah, arm the missiles, paint it, and move on to the next. 3 hits and it's out of here. So, Lucius comes out and has a few stern, strong words for Jason after destroying the ship instead of, I don't know, locking the suit down like he did with Colonel at the start of the game.
The Restoration will hunt you down and kill you. Your loved ones.
So, Jason dispatched Lucius, as anyone would, with a shotgun. And we find out that Claire is weird and likes to point guns at people and pretend like, oh no, I was just kidding, before telling them she was actually a spy and was using Jason to kill Lucius or something. It actually doesn't make any sense. So Jason goes in for questioning or whatever, and that's it. Oh yeah, one last thing I wanted to mention was the game actually has this alternate mode called Proving Grounds, which you're issued a certain set of equipment, which I hope you remembered all the logos, because much like modern websites, there's no text to remind you what they are until you try them out. I hate those freaking big symbols on websites. Tumblr, I'm looking at you. I also wanted to mention that the achievement system is kind of neat, and which it tracks how many times you do certain things, like, punting bombas or making enemies scream by making them fly around. Not only that, but it actually tracks your friend stats alongside yours, so you can see if you can beat their personal best for each one. It's a neat touch. So yeah, that's the game. It's kind of funny how I see so many up-and-coming devs making their own tribute to this, that, turning it into a fan game only to have it swatted down. Especially if it's a Nintendo IP, I mean, God forbid. The funny part is, if you put your own IP on it, then it's yours. Sometimes it's unique enough to do that, and still be a knockoff, and still be a great game. I mean, hell, even if you can't come up with your own IP, get somebody like an artist to come up with an IP for you, or a story, or whatever, and there you go. If you really want to make a fan game so bad, then, finish the development of the game first and then release it. That way, they send you the DMC and then it's like, hey, you better take this down, but everybody's already downloaded it, so But you didn't hear that from me. So yeah, that's the game. I think it's pretty solid, even being a knockoff. It just goes to show that it's completely feasible to take inspiration, even if it's really heavy inspiration, from one existing really successful IP and make it your own thing. So being a knockoff is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, think of it this way. If somebody didn't end up ripping off the FPS formula, we wouldn't have that many FPSs outside of Wolfenstein and Doom. Think about that for a second. Thanks for playing! So, would you watch my streams? No, you suck. Okay. Why am I still recording this? It's a political joke.